I'm often asked by MBA applicants, should I write an optional essay or not? This confusion stems from its name. So they wonder, is it truly optional or will skipping it hurt their chances? So after helping MBA applicants for over 15 years, I can tell you there is no one shoe fits all answer to this question. So my recommendation depends on two things: candidate's profile and each school's essay requirements. Some schools expect you to address specific issues like low GMAT, low GPA, employment gap, academic gap, or choice of recommender, while some schools leave it open ended, giving applicants a chance to address those specific aspects of their profile, those unique aspects of their profile, which they could not fit anywhere else in the application. Hi, I'm Poonam Tandon, President and founder of My Essay Review since 2011. In this video, I will explain when to write an optional essay and when to skip it, common reasons to write it, key tips to write it effectively, and lastly, I'll also share some real examples from my students' essays. So let's get started. Here are some of the most common scenarios where an optional essay can strengthen your application: low GMAT, GRE, or low GPA, career gaps or frequent job switches, not choosing your current supervisor for your recommendation letter, non-traditional background that may need explanation, extenuating circumstances such as health or family issues, reapplying to the same program, pursuing a second MBA, and additional information that doesn't fit anywhere else in the application. So you use optional essay to address those unique aspects of your profile that you did not get a chance to address in other parts of your application, like resume or essays or short questions. This can be your entrepreneurial experience, this can be your voluntary experience, or any other experience that you feel is valuable. So here are the 4 tips for writing your optional essay. 1. Be brief, clear, and direct. Optional essays have tight word limits, so you have to be concise and purposeful. You need to make every word count. Second, don't make excuses. Own your weaknesses. State the facts objectively without blaming others. For example, if you have a low GMAT, you may have test anxiety, or you may be overwhelmed at work, putting in 14 to 16 hours of work, which did not give you an opportunity to prepare well for your test. So be objective and state the facts as they are. Remember, admission committee members are humans and they know there may be some issues that were not in your control, but the key is how you handled those issues, how you dealt with those issues, and how you grew from them. So third is focus on learnings. When explaining a gap or a challenge, highlight what you did to grow, learn, or improve. For example, if you have to take a break from work to take care of a family emergency, you can shed light on the online courses you did during that time, or any voluntary work you did while you were also taking care of your loved ones. So this shows that even when you took a break from work, you were still taking initiative to upskill yourself, to enhance yourself, to grow in other ways. And last, follow each school's instructions carefully. Each program has different expectations. For example, HEC allows up to 900 words, NUS allows up to 200 words, while IMD allows just 50 words. Also, some schools prefer bullet points, like Haas, CBS, and Ross, while others expect a formal essay. So the key here is always read the fine print on school's application portal, not just their website. In my blog, I have provided real examples of a few MER students who used the optional essay to strengthen their application. Let's look at those examples. And I would strongly encourage you to go through that blog to read those examples. Let me tell you what those examples are about. One candidate wrote optional essay to explain modest test score and reassure the admission committee that they could handle the academic rigor of the program. Another student wrote an optional essay to address an academic gap caused by a personal emergency and also explain what they learned during that difficult time. Another example is to explain employment gap that allowed the candidate more time to care for a child. But that candidate also utilized that time when she was taking care of her child to pursue her hobbies like swimming and traveling. So one example is of choice of recommender. So the candidate explained the reasons why he did not take recommendation letter from the current supervisor. Sometimes applicants are apprehensive to tell their supervisor that they are applying for MBA program because they feel that this may jeopardize their job. So they can explain this in the optional essay. Sometimes applicants may have worked with their current supervisor only for 2-3 months, which is not enough time to evaluate an applicant for their true potential. So in such cases, applicants request their past supervisor or their senior colleague with whom they had worked more closely for a longer time. And other examples in the blog are from candidates who used optional essay to describe their entrepreneurial experience and voluntary experience and non-traditional experience. In all these cases, the optional essay strengthened their application by addressing weakness and highlighting growth. In the end, I would also like to tell you when not to write an optional essay. First, if you think you do not have any weakness in your profile, you do not need to write it. Second, if you feel you have already shared your story effectively through your essays, resume, and data form questions, you don't need to write an optional essay. You can skip it. Some schools explicitly state that no preference will be given to candidates who submit it. For example, UCLA, they specifically mention it. So use it only when you need to genuinely address a concern or highlight a specific aspect of your profile. So my final thoughts. There is no one shoe fits all answer to the question if you want to write an optional essay or not. Think of it as a tool, not as a requirement. Use it only to strengthen your application. At MER, I carefully evaluate each applicant's profiles and goals before recommending if they should write an optional essay and then help them structure it effectively. In some cases, I even advise them to address more than one topic in their optional essay. Because remember, each applicant is unique. So their optional essay should also be unique. If you are unsure whether to write it or not and how to structure it, feel free to reach out. Email me at poonam@mysreview.com and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more MBA content. And don't forget to go through my blog for more examples. Also, a few years back, I had recorded a webinar with GMAT Club, and I have included the recording of that webinar on optional essay in the description. So you may also look at that. Thanks for watching. See you again with more MBA related content. Until then, bye.